So just some different language for what you see that's our traditional language.
Okay, in the next, look, the other little packet that I gave you today that has the questions, strategies on the front. I think the second page, yes, second page in it is a math writing sample. This is if you have a concept that you want them to write to demonstrate knowledge. Suppose you are going to teach ordering fractions, decimals, and percents to a student who has never done it before. The student was given the numbers 1/8, 45%, 20%, 100, up. Well, it's 1%, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. I think 1%. And 12/48 and 0.342. What strategies or hints would you share with them? What would you tell them about the words ascending and descending? Need help? Here are some vocabulary that you might want to use. Sentence starters. For those that you were concerned about your language learners, so sentence starters that you might want to use. You can convert blah, blah, blah first. Think about this. On a number line, you may also want to. Do you see that tells a concept that you can assess their knowledge because they're explaining it to someone else. Oftentimes you think they get it until they start doing this and you go, oh, they don't get it. They don't get it. There's also, we were talking about cubing last week with the dice, you roll a cube, etc. Cubing lesson for science, I couldn't give a math lesson without giving a science lesson. So here's a cubing lesson for science. It's list 9 energy sources, indicate the energy source is a pollutant or a non-pollutant, define each source, list an advantage or disadvantage of each energy source, indicate if the energy source is renewable or non-renewable, design a way to present your information to the class. That would be another type of writing assignment using the cube. It goes through all those different steps of understanding, analyzing, applying, etc. Once again, you do not have to do all of that at the same time. You can roll the cube and say, okay, today we're going to apply what you know and do so-and-so.
I have a question for Dr. Browning. Okay, on the math writing sample here, where, and maybe you've already covered this in instruction and I was out of the room. No, you don't need to look at it, it's okay. In math, when should students regularly write?
Almost daily.
Okay, so daily and during, where in math do they write out their answer in a sentence form, such as 20 miles per hour means I can travel 20 miles in 1 hour?
That's one way, and then sometimes in their journals they write the procedure for what they learned to do that day in many, many ways, but they should be writing almost daily because we have math journals that we keep.
Another grandchild story. My grandchild came home, said they learned about speed. I said, what did you learn? She said, speed equals distance over time. I said, can you put that in a sentence? Silence. We're talking top 10% student here, her little friend also, straight A's. They had no clue what speed really meant because there was never anything else other than working the problem. And so I next asked, well, what if we're traveling 10 miles per hour? What does that mean? And still could not do it. Well, of course, over the weekend we did grandma tutoring and we got it. But, that was such a telling thing for me that just because they can work the problems doesn't mean they understand the concept.
Can I make a suggestion to math teachers, and you can tell me to go take a flying leap if you want to. But I know that I've heard over and over and over again from math teachers, these kids can't read. They can't read a word problem, so therefore they can't solve it. Sometimes it's not that you can't read the words. is that they don't understand what they're reading. In that, if you give them